I think we're live. Well, hi guys.
Hi guys.
Welcome to the live stream.
Hope everyone is doing
To
fine
the
now.
live
This
stream.
doing fine. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, you want to do the intro?
Yes, of course. Hi once again. I'm Ideal, one of the producers of Sacred Guardian Singa, and with me is Meng Yao.
Hi, Ming Yao here, also one of the producers of Sacred Guardian Singa. Nice to meet you
And
all
with
again.
us, yeah, and with us, two of our actors, of our cast, Kasimir and Kris. Can they say hi?
Hey, what's up, guys? What's up, guys? Hope you're well today. Hope you're safe and healthy.
Yep. So basically, this will be a very chill live stream. So for the fans to ask questions in a bit, and also for us to have a chat with our cast and see what they're up to during this period. So can we start with Kes? Kes, what have you been up to, man?
Oh man, mostly housework. Just cooking, cleaning, and taking care of my two cats, and training. Trying to use some creative juices to come up with some interesting moves, but also I've been trying to practice silat as well as Ba Ji Quan during my free time.
Wow.
I see. Wow. Want to fill us in a bit on why silat as well?
Why silat? Oh, okay. Two reasons. Firstly, it's gonna be something that I would like to draw upon when we do Sacred Guardian Singa, because of Singa's history. But also, I think having watched The Raid, which is probably like the best action film ever.
I'll have to agree.
As well as I recently had a stint with the Bicentennial Experience, and in there were Silat warriors, and seeing the fighters from the Silat Federation perform their moves, I really liked it, and it was honestly quite difficult to replicate. So I'm trying to practice like the competitive set that is standardized for competition. It has an unarmed section, it has a machete section, and it has a staff section, like a long staff.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome, man. Okay, just hold on there. Kris, how are you, man? What have you been up to?
Hey, I'm good, bro. I mean, I haven't been doing anything as exceptional as whatever Kasimir has been talking about. Any silat that went on in my life was just all in my mind. It's like different thoughts silating against each other. No, I've just been watching a lot of videos that I haven't watched on YouTube for a long time, because previously I was so busy, so I kept a lot of videos in my watch later section, which I always told myself I hope I get the time to watch all this, like documentaries and stuff. So I'm using this time to watch that, do some reading, reflection, and things like that. And obviously, like Kasimir said, doing a lot of housework, a lot more than I've done in a decade.
Yeah, I think that's the same case for everyone. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
what else can we do? But at least things with the project aspects are still moving ahead.
Okay. Let's talk about the Sacred Guardian Singa experience so far. That asking us Cass and Kris about your experience from the day we approached you to the day we explained to you more in depth about the project until the day you start shooting the trailer to Comic Con.
Yeah.
What has been an experience so far, and mind sharing with us what your experience and your feelings about
Sure.
this process?
So is
journey?
Kasimir going first?
Okay. First thing, when I came in, I went into the Toku Pictures office, and I met Ideal and Basil, and I was pleasantly surprised to see that this is a production team that is very passionate about this idea. And as I read the script, I was like, hey, there's more things going on to this idea than meets the eye. It's not just any other superhero kind of idea that anyone has thought of. And the good thing about Ideal and Basil is that when they give direction, it is very clear, but also not imposing. I don't know if that makes sense, but it just clicked. I can't really explain it. The hero, understanding the hero, he is very much, I think, at the end of the day, a protector. When I went to the audition, that's the impression that I got, and I was just really sold on this idea that he is initially kind of conflicted about this idea of sacrifice, especially given his history, but later just without much of a thought, willing to do anything it takes to protect his friends. And after that, we had a chat with, between us, Ideal and Bezil and I. And yeah, man, it just flowed. These are really cool guys. They're nice people. And just hearing more about the idea just got me more excited. And in particular, I don't think I mentioned this yet, but the incorporation of Southeast Asian history into this concept was very interesting to me, because I personally am quite fascinated by the vastness of some of these ancient empires. Well, they might not be so ancient in like the timeline of history, but like I'm talking about like the Majapahit and the Srivijayan Empire, and the little martial artist in me kind of also curious about like what Silat meant for them, in the individual areas. And this is something I would like to explore in the future. But anyway, I digress a bit. Come the day of the shoot, I think my first scene was with Dorothy, right? Was it with Dorothy?
It should be Dorothy, right?
Yeah, I think it was Dorothy. So I was like, we were like toying around with the gun and like how to move with the gun
Dorothy,
and stuff like that. Yeah. And to as I read more into the character, and I think, hey Keegan, hi.
Hello, man.
You guys know Keegan?
Oh, hey, Keegan.
Yeah, of course. Keegan, hi, hello.
Awesome guy, very talented, and he's part of very, very amazing shows. Go check him out.
Yep.
Totally,
He's an international superstar.
Yeah. Oh man.
I'm sure he is, man.
Yeah, I'm like blushing inside that he joined. But anyway, where was I? Okay. I think Kris can attest to the idea of using different ways to approach a character. And sometimes I might want to use, for example, my personal experience. Sometimes I might want to use other things. It could be as simple as music, to varying degrees of, I would say, success. But for this particular one, it was quite clear to me. I actually used astrology. So yeah, it was inspired by my wife Sarah, who likes to toy around with the idea just as a hobby, nothing too serious. But the idea of Ryan is that on the outside he is I kind of archetyped him as Leo, like as a sun sign, like the way that he approaches the world and the way that he is meant to kind of take the mantle within the world. So it's very much I think as in line with what Singa represents. But internally he's kind of more of a Pisces, where he is kind of dealing with a lot of emotions and this idea of martyrdom and self-sacrifice. Yeah, and there was some music from actually League of Legends that inspired me for some of the particular scenes. It's quite funny. And the actual shoot itself, I was really amazed at how much Ideal and Basil. So like the team was small, and we also had some crew along who were also really great. They were really helping out with the whole thing, and I was really surprised at and I don't mean this in any bad way, but I was pleasantly surprised at how good the shots were, and I like the whole flow of things in general, like the direction given and the actors that came in. It flowed very well. There was a lot of compatibility. Sorry, am I ranting too long? Am I like going too long? Because I still have more to talk about.
Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So like I don't think I met Kris on set, right? But
No, we didn't.
Not yet.
But yeah.
Our only meeting was in 2017 when we did that student film together. After
Yes,
that, until now, we still haven't met.
Yeah, the psychological one. Yeah. I feel like I've known you for years though. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's because I'm a Leo.
There we go. But
the stars aligning for the Lions.
Yeah.
Anyway, like yeah, the actors it clicked really well. I have to really give a shout out to the stunt guys. There was of course the coordinator, which was Peps. Had a lot of confidence in his abilities, and it was really well founded. I feel at the end of the day, he could really help with the crafting of the fight scene and kind of like making it compatible to my skill set, as well as just the situation, you know, like helping to give advice with regards to like the shots and all that. Don't mind, I just plug Peps for a bit, but go check him out, Peps Go. That's PEPSGOH. Yeah. And the other stunt guys
Also-
that
No,
Sorry?
go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, the other stunt guys I really cannot not mention because I work with them closely, and a lot of times these are the people that really sell a lot of the big things that go on in the show at the expense of, you know, risk and a lot of effort, a lot of training that goes into it. So Joseph and Ziyong, they are real professionals, and if you see the guy that kind of like somersaults mid-air from Singa's like face push, that one is Joe. He's very talented, and Ziyong is just so good to work with. He knows his spacing well. He knows how to sell it. Yeah, man, it was all a very good experience. Okay, so that was production. We have covered what audition, right? So now we're gonna go into what was it? Comic-Con.
Hey, we need a sequel to this live stream at the way we go.
Okay, Comic-Con was really interesting. I've never met people as kind of myself. Does that make sense? Like,
it makes sense.
Yeah, in the Waterworld show, which I do, we do have meet and greet, and that kind of prepared me for this. But just the fans and the people involved in the project, I got to meet more of the people involved. The artists, the concept artists, John, as well as some of the other people that contributed in other ways, and everyone is just so pleasant to be around. and the fans were great. The children were loving it. Yeah.
Thanks, Keegan. Really appreciate it. It warms my heart that you still remember something from 2016. Thank you. Yeah, sorry, Kasimir, go on.
No worries. Yeah.
But yeah, man, like it was a really thrilling experience to just absorb all this positivity that was coming from both the fans as well as the people involved. It was great. Oh, I was really sick though. I was like, I was dying, but you guys made it all right. Yeah, it was good.
You may be dying, but you're the hero, so you would always survive in the end. Guys like me, when we're dying, we really die. Okay, so
but without what people always like to say, a good villain is what makes a good show. So the role of villains are actually as equally as important in superhero shows, right? Without a villain, what's a superhero show? So Kris, share with us your experience.
Yeah, so your question was from the time that we got selected on the show all the way till Comic-Con and now, like how the experience has been, right? I mean, right? Yeah. So it's been tremendous. To be honest, there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of comments and reception that that the team has been getting about Singa that even I don't know about, you know. And that's I mean it in a good way, because like Kasimir said, there's been so much of positivity. And to be frank, I'm impressed and I'm surprised, but I got to be honest and say that all the credit goes to guys like Ming Yao, Basil, and Ideal, because they and whoever else, you know, that I don't know about, who's been involved in the creation and the expansion of the show and the franchise. One thing that I have to compliment you guys is, instead of just going at it as a straight show or a web series or anything like that, you guys have tried from the very beginning to make it a brand, you know, get the IP, get some merchandise out. You know, I think that's very industrious of you. That's something that I've always been wanting to compliment you on, and I think I've done it privately to Basil, but I haven't done it to Ming Yao and Ideal. I think you guys, you have a jovial front, especially Ideal. Like you always making all these jokes and little verbal pranks and everything. But I want to tell people that Ideal, behind all this jovial persona that he exhibits, he's actually a history buff. He is very highly knowledgeable about many aspects of Southeast Asian history, especially Singapore, Indonesia, and a lot of other regions. Outside of that, he is also a very intelligent individual. But you know how it is with intelligent people in society. We don't. I mean, no, okay. Intelligent people don't blend so well in a social setting if they show their intelligent side. So they got to show the a bit more down to earth, and but so Ideal took it to an extreme. He chose not to show much of his intelligence at all, and he went straight comic all the way so that he can blend and connect with people. But that's a credit to him because he really knows how to act stupid when he has to. But what you guys don't know is he is highly cerebral. But as an actor, I want to say he's also a good actor because I've seen him act. He impersonated things to me before, and he sort of demonstrated how he wanted certain things to be done while we were doing the boat scene, and also Basil, him and I, we went out to eat one time, and then he was enacting different things. And I told him this before on numerous occasions, right? That I hope that he has a cameo on the show. And in the previous live stream, some fans also wanted him to act. So there's that. As for Ming Yao, I know he looks serious and everything, but he's a very pleasant, warm, and friendly guy. I think my first time meeting him was at Comic Con, and and we had a great time talking. I think we yeah, I was he's someone that you need to get to know more of, as fans. As for Comic Con experience, wow, I mean, I told a lot of my friends that I've never experienced anything like that before. Funny thing is, I've never been to a Comic Con before, and because I didn't care. I mean, I had no business there. I'm not really a comic kind of person at all, or anything to do with whatever is involved in a Comic Con. I was like, why do I gotta spend all this money to go for an event when nothing over there really excites me. But then, intriguingly, the first time I had to be there was for Sacred Guardian Singa, and I'm very grateful that they had a TV screen, they had like a booth, they had my characters' postcards and everything. So my first time at Comic Con turned out to be a tremendous time. There were so many people coming up and asking for autographs and everything. Quite a surreal experience, to be honest. But again, all credit goes to the team, and I hope you fans, deserve greater and greater things. And if you guys support the show enough, then the production team will be able to. I mean, the creators of the show will be able to have a larger presence at Comic Con, and in turn, they can deliver a richer experience for you. So as time went on, it's getting more and more thrilling. Shooting the trailer was was a very interesting experience because during that time I was also doing another project in which I also had to play channel a dark side for a character. So there was the lab scene that we were doing where Grulin, that black smoke coming out of his eyes when the evil forces possess him. So once I did that scene and we were done with the day, it really sort of affected me in some way, and oh, what's that sound that I'm hearing? Okay, sorry.
I have no
Yeah,
idea, man.
when I talk about evil forces, I'm hearing something like this. Like what's this? Uh, yeah, it sort of affected me in some way, and then I was like, oh wow, I think I got really deep into that. So I hope the fans can get to see more of the lab scene because it's very interesting where he's just a scientist working on things, and then all of a sudden he starts twitching and all those things, and he's on the ground with smoke coming out of his eyes. So I'm very excited, and as time goes by, I'm seeing that wonderful talent is continuing to join the show. Newer and newer people are being added, and so far it's been tremendous. I think building a fan community, you guys are doing a great job, and I want to also thank all Singers international fans as well. The international support means a lot to us.
Awesome, Chris. Thanks so much. So we've just heard Chris making me blush. I think you've earned a dinner date with me, man.
Wow, kind word.
Yeah,
Hey,
so
Tina
I mean,
just said something, Chris.
Yeah.
Kris, Tina just said something about after the trailer.
Our own Singa version of Senthil Ramamurthy.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Blood work
Wow,
on our flag.
man.
whoa.
Okay, I guess I gotta take this as a compliment. Okay, I've not watched the show, so I don't know what character she's talking
Oh,
about. Okay, those
he's an
you guys will be more familiar with this than me.
yeah. Definitely it's a compliment, man.
Okay,
It is a
yeah,
compliment.
yeah. It sounded like it. Sounded like. Thank you, Tina.
Yep. So I just want you guys to know that Kris is saying nice things because he himself is a very nice guy. Both Kris, Kasimir, and the main actors that we have, the actresses. So one of the reasons why we chose them is basically for their talent as well. The ability to adapt and rework themselves into the character that we want. So I'm still looking forward to working further with our cast